Hey everybody, this is Dylan. I wanted to make for you today my favorite Mexican style brown rice. I used to make this dish all the time with white rice, and it was perfect and easy. All you did was throw everything in the water, the rice, the various whatever we're gonna get to, and it would just come out right. All the water would be absorbed and the rice would be nice and fluffy. And then I tried it with brown rice and it was miserable. It always came out mushy and it just never worked. So I've come up with a new method that does come out nice and fluffy, and the solution was that we're not cooking the rice with all of the stuff like I used to do. I know that isn't the traditional way of doing it, but whatever. This is the new game. So here is what I have done so far. I cooked 4 cups of brown rice, which is way more than I'm sure I'll use. Well, who knows, we'll see. But I cooked four cups of brown rice, and the reason I always cook extra brown rice is because you can just put the extra in your fridge and eat it all week, or let it sit for a few days and then when you're finished up one rice dish of leftovers, you can go on and use the leftover plain rice to make another dish or something later. So I always try to cook extra so that I don't have to do it every single day. So that's why I've cooked 4 cups of brown rice, which I expect to be more than what I actually am going to use for this recipe. And for those of you who haven't cooked perfect brown rice, check out my perfect brown rice video. And what you're going to be left with is this nice, beautiful, perfect, fluffy, not mushy brown rice, okay? So that's what we're starting with. All right, let's get to the interesting part. All I'm gonna do is start by chopping up a couple of regular yellow onions. Just dice them up like normal. Next up, jalapenos. I've got several here. I'm just going to chop the end off and then cut them in half. Next, just start coring out the guts here, all the seeds. This is where a lot of the fire is, so be careful handling it. If you really like kick, you can leave these in. I've done it. It definitely makes the dish spicy. Okay, next we're just going to take these jalapeno halves, slice them up like this. This is the same as I do in my pico video. Turn your stack, get it all nice and stacked up, and then we're just going to dice them up. Okay, that's it. Onions, jalapenos, or any pepper, right? You can use a red bell pepper if you want. You can use a not so spicy like a poblano pepper or a New Mexico chili or any kind of pepper that you want, just to give it some color and some flavor. So it doesn't have to be jalapeno if you're afraid of the heat. Anyway, heat up your pan. Let's give this a saute and get it going. All right. Give it a nice stir. Keep adding a little bit of water if you need to, just to keep this from sticking or burning. Nice. Okay, while that's going, I want to add some zucchini to this. You don't need to add anything else. We're going to add tomatoes, obviously, but I like to give it a little more chunk and texture, more of a whole meal. But if you're just using the rice as a standard side dish, no problem. But I'm going to chop up one of these big monster zucchinis and throw it in too. So I'm just going to slice that a little bit. And then just chop it up rough. Nice. Okay, let's throw in some zucchini. That's more than enough. Oh, what the hell, we'll add it all. All right, well that's all going on the stove. We're going to chop up some tomatoes, same way again as I do it in my pico video. Okay, let's dump in these tomatoes. We'll let these cook for just a minute, not too long. Yes. Okay, let's get the flavor going here. I'm gonna add a can of, this is a 6-ounce can of tomato paste. Try to find tomato paste that doesn't have any added salt. Okay, along with the tomato paste, I'm gonna add at least a couple teaspoons of cumin, because I love cumin, as well as a couple of teaspoons or more of oregano. This is whole leaf oregano, so I'll just kind of crunch it up a bit. This is a lot of rice, so I'll add even more. Okay, now if you need to add some water to get this tomato paste to sort of break up, don't be afraid of that, but give it a stir. And you can add even more tomato paste if you want. This looks pretty good though. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Let's kill the heat. Okay, so grab a big bowl. We're gonna toss the rice in this big bowl, and let's take our mix of veggies and dump it right into the big monster bowl. Hopefully I've got my amounts more or less close enough. But we're just winging it. That's all we ever do. Okay, now I've got some limes ready here, so let's look at that. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. So I'm just gonna squeeze like, I don't know, a couple limes in here, 2 or 3 limes. There's a lot of rice to go around, so it won't make much difference whether you do 2 or 3. Okay, so we got some lime in there. Now let's take a handful of, I've already rinsed and spun this cilantro, so I'm gonna take a couple bunches of cilantro and just chop them up. Okay, throw in your cilantro, and it's rice time. And let's just add some rice. You know what? I'm using all the rice. Okay, so I guess I used all the rice. So everything I said at the beginning of this video about making extra rice so you had leftovers was apparently some bullshit. Okay, that's that. Mexican rice, not bad. Let's give it a try. And if you like me, then you gotta get a little bit of pico on top as well. Oh, that is pretty. Okay. So crazy good. I love the zucchini. It gives it a nice, chunky texture. I love that. Amazing. Totally SOS free. No added salt, oil, sugar. Whole food. This is the perfect meal right here. You could even throw in some beans. You could make this a rice bean dish and put in a few cups of cooked beans. Maybe you need to increase a couple of the other ingredients to compensate for that, but this would be delicious as a mixed rice and bean dish too. This is an amazing potluck dish to take to dinner parties. Amazing for any kind of Mexican night, taco night, whatever it is. Well, that is all for this video. Thank you for watching. If you liked it, please hit the button that looks like a hand with the thumb in the up direction. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Join us in the Well Your World Facebook group, where all of us like-minded individuals come together and have formed an amazing community around health and food and everything wonderful about life. Check out the cooking show, live cooking show, where I do recipes much like the one you've just seen here, except we're also talking about health, lifestyle, everything. It's a live setting, so you're able to interact with me by voice. I can hear you, you can hear and see me, and you also have access to all of the replays of the previous episodes. Check that out at wellyourworld.com. That is all for now. I'll see you on the next video. I love you. Goodbye. So good. So good.